Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make these fabulous gluten-free Ritz style crackers because there's never enough gluten-free crackers on the market, don't you think? So in the bowl of a food processor, add 2 cups of gluten-free all-purpose flour blend along with a tablespoon of sugar, a tablespoon of baking powder, and also a half a teaspoon of salt. And whiz this up just to combine them. And then we'll add 6 tablespoons of cold salted butter cut into small pieces. And then we'll pulse this up just to combine them and create that pie dough type texture where the butter is cut into the flour in little pieces. If you're new to my channel, take the time to subscribe and hit that bell so that you'll get notifications every time a new video goes live. See, this is the texture you want, little like pea-sized pieces. So now we're going to add 2 tablespoons of vegetable or canola oil and pulse this in. And then with the food processor running on low, go ahead and drizzle in your water. It'll be 2/3 of a cup, at least 2/3 of a cup, but you may or may not have to add a little more. And this is just until it comes together and it's a quite wet dough. And what I've found is most people don't put enough liquids in their gluten-free doughs. So once this is done, get it in a piece of plastic wrap and in the fridge for at least 30 minutes, preferably an hour or 2. And when it comes out, it's a nice soft dough, very easy to work with. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to cut it in half and work with 1/2 at a time because it does start getting room temp and a little softer and stickier. So I'll put the rest of this back in the fridge and I'll just work with this half a piece of dough. So I'll sprinkle some flour, and this is just my all-purpose flour, onto my counter and roll it out. And I want to roll this to about 1/8 of an inch thick because these crackers are going to puff up, and if you do any more than 1/8 of an inch, they're going to be too thick and they won't crisp up nicely. So roll it out just like you're rolling out any pie crust. Continuously move it, adding more flour as needed. I really like this French rolling pin versus a rolling pin with handles. And I'll leave a link for that below if you are in the market to buy a new rolling pin. So I've got this, it's a biscuit cutter actually. It's a fluted biscuit cutter. And I've got a set of them. And I'm just cutting out, these are about 2-inch, I think, 2-inch size rounds. And I'm just cutting them out, and then I'll re-roll the scraps until all the scraps are used. You get a lot of crackers out of this recipe. This is only half the recipe even. So I'm going to put these on a baking sheet lined with parchment. And I'm going to put these in the fridge for about 30 minutes to get nice and firm and chilled so that I can then make indentations in them. And I'm using this skewer bottom, the flat end of a skewer, of a wooden skewer. And I'm just going to make a few holes in each of my crackers. Now I'm doing this based on what I saw Ritz crackers to look like, where there was, I think it was 6 holes in a circle around and then 1 hole in the middle. But you don't have to do that. I'm only doing this for aesthetic purposes for my blog. But you do need to poke some holes in each of your crackers so that the steam is able to escape and they can puff up and they will be nice and crisp. So once you get all the holes poked, you'll put these in a preheated 400-degree oven for 12 to 17 minutes or so until the crackers are nice and crisp and golden brown. Now, 3 tablespoons of melted butter. I'm adding a teaspoon or a teaspoon and a quarter of salt. If you don't add enough salt, it's not salty enough like a Ritz cracker should be. So here they are out of the oven, and I'm just going to brush this salted butter mixture on the tops of each of the crackers, and that's it, you guys. These are so easy to make. They are just like what you remember a Ritz cracker to be. They're nice and crisp and perfect and so simple. So enjoy.